What we are going to do is that we are going to do some regressions. To start out with, that is a statistics item. So we need to turn on diagnostics. To do that, you're going to press the second key followed by the 0 key. That brings up the catalog. If you have an A up in the corner, you do not have to press alpha. Since this does have an A up in the corner, the next thing that you will do is find the letter D because we need diagnostics. Diagnostics is located right above the X inverse key. So there we go. There's the D. Should start out with day of the week. I don't see diagnostics on, so we will press the down button on the trackpad until we can get there. And do it 2 more times. Diagnostic off, and then diagnostic on. Once that's on, you'll press enter twice until it says done. All right. Now, next thing in the instructions, it says step 3 to turn on stat plot. We're going to do that now. Second, y equals, stat plots are off. You turn them on by pressing enter once, enter twice, they're already on. Alright, now we're going to put some information in the stat editor. So press stat, and I'm just going to come up with 7 points of data, starting out with 0, enter. Okay, so there's my data, and I'm going to go graph it. Now there's some data points. Now we have more data points than that. If you can't see them, we're going to press the window key. I need to change my values. My x's fell between 0 and 10, so I don't have to change my x's. However, my y's, if you notice when we went back to our stat, is that underneath edit, go in there and look at it, enter. It went all the way up to 364, I think. Okay, let's come on down. Yeah, 364. So I need something greater than 364. I'm going to take it to 370. So I'm going to go back to window, and I'm going to change that Y max to 370. 370. Press enter. Now when I graph it, I should see all my data points. There they are. Might even want to make it just a little bit smaller if I want to. But there I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Now we're going to go in and see what we can do with this as far as what kind of is the line a best fit. In other words, which model does this basically model? If you don't know by looking at 2 data points, we can usually start out with what is called a linear regression. Okay, and let's bring it over to calc. And linear regression is number 4. Okay, brings that up. List 1, list 2, enter, enter. Now I want this to graph the line. So to do that, I'm going to ask it to store my regression equation that we're going to come up with to a variable. So we're going to press the vars key. Since we graph with y equals, we're going to go to y vars. It says function. Right now you guys have not learned parametric or polar equations, so that you just press enter. And generally we want to graph it in function y1. So let's go ahead and press enter again. And we'll graph it by pressing calculate twice. Okay, this is your equation. This is the equation that you will write down on your papers. I am looking for the equation, so on your paper you will write down what equation it is. In this case, linear regression is y equals ax plus b, where a equals 4.36309. I just want the 4 digits after the decimal point. B, I need up to 4 digits after the decimal point. R squared, unless you're dealing with a quadratic, I don't need that, but the R value is 0.842. Generally, an R value of less than 80 is not good. The closer we can get the R value to 1, the better off you'll be. Okay, so as you can look here, we got a little graph area that shows how that graph, but we'll get a better picture of what you would look like. So we just graph through it. It goes to a couple of points, but I've got several of them that are just like way out of context. All right, so clearly linear is not a good fit. So we're going to go back and we're going to calculate the next one. Let's see if a quadratic, because it might be a quadratic, but a restricted quadratic equation. So let's bring it down to 5. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Stat, calc, and bring it down to number 5 for quadratic regression. Here we go. We're going to press enter, and again we're going to press enter until we get down to quadratic. Store the regression equation. All right, and we want to start and press vars, arrow over, y bars, function, enter, and enter again. Alright, it says we want to store this equation at y1. Yes, we do. Press enter, press enter. Now, last time that we did our calculations, we had a 0.84. Now, we have an r squared value this time of a 0.95. That's getting a little bit better. And it should graph right here. Now, let's go look at a bigger graph. As you can see, it goes through some more points. If it's filled in, it means it actually goes through the point. And my points actually became closer to the line. But I want to rule out whether or not exponential or quartic or cubic might actually work. So let's bring it on over, calc, and cubic regression is number 6. So I'm going to bring in cubic. As you know that you have not done cubic equations in my class yet, I'm just showing, okay? All right, down, 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 and bars, over, y bars, press enter, and press enter again, and then enter twice to get the calculation. Cubic regression. Alright, my R squared this time is 0.996. And it will redraw here in just 1 second. There we go. Let's go graph. Cubic regression is even getting better. Alright, since you know that you have not done cubic regression because we've not studied cubic functions, let's go in and check the one that we have done, which is exponential. Alright, again, stat, calc. Right, if you notice that the first 7 do not have exponential, but there's a little arrow next to the 7, that means we've got more functions down below. So you're going to keep on arrowing down to see what we can bring up. We got linear regression a plus bx. We got the natural log regression. We got exponential there at 0. So let's go ahead and press enter. And exponential regression, let's go ahead and press enter again, and enter again, and enter again, and then again to vars, y variables, function, graph it to y1, do it twice to get the calculation up, and now our R value is 0.998.